Hello again everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age 2. We have returned here in the Elven Alienage. We just brought Merrill back home. Well, home. And now we're going to find out what else we can do. So we can speak to this Ariani.
But it's the only place.
Madam, we'll do our best to find your son. But I cannot guarantee his safety if he continues to resist Templar jurisdiction.
He's just a boy.
He's an apostate. I am sorry for your loss, mistress. But I can offer your son mercy only if he turns himself in.
Someone ran away?
I'm trying to find him, but...
The Templars cannot tolerate apostates.
Can we help this woman? This could be Mother.
True. Can I help?
It sounds like your son is in trouble. Is there anything I can do?
You heard all of that and still you would help? An apostate? Oh, thank you. I am Ariani. My boy, Merrill. He's all I have. All my family. When I learned he had magic, I could not bear to send him to the Circle. But his connection to the Fade, it gives him nightmares. Dreams of demons speaking in his mind. I would rather lose him to the Circle than to himself.
Right.
Did your son run away?
He learned I had contacted Sir Thrask. He felt I
betrayed
his trust. He thinks he can live free of the Circle. But I am afraid without proper training, he'll kill himself.
That makes sense. So she has obviously wanted to turn her son in because she's just worried about him, but obviously he feels almost betrayed, right?
Those look like Dalish tattoos. Why do you live in the city?
I was born to the Dalish, but came to Kirkwall for a time and dallied with a human merchant, Vincento. When I found I was with child, neither Vincento nor my tribe wished the burden of an elf-blooded human infant. I raised Merrill myself, here in the...
Well, he did a hell of a job.
Tell me the whole story.
I learned years ago that my son likely had magical talent, but we could not bear the thought of him locked in the gallows. So we hid. When the nightmares began, Merrill still refused to contact the Circle. But I truly think they are the only people who might save his life.
The Circle aren't a bad bunch. It's just the worry of being, like, secluded, I think, that is the issue with them.
What kind of dreams is he having?
He dreams of demons, calling to him, pulling him into their world. Every day, it grows harder to wake him. That is why I turned to the Circle. They are the only ones that can protect a mage from his own powers.
Right. Where do I start?
What exactly do you need me to do?
Just find him, please. Bring him somewhere safe. I don't know where Merrill is gone, but there are two places you might start your search. Sir Thrask has been looking for him. If you speak to him in the gallows, he'll be able to tell you what ground he's already covered. And Merrill's father, Vincento, recently returned from Antiva. He's a merchant in the Lowtown Bazaar. Merrill might have sought him out.
Okay. What's Thrask like?
Tell me about this Templar.
I believe he's a good man. He doesn't hate mages, but sees what it took me too long to realize. Even the best-intentioned mages are at the mercy of their sleeping minds.
It's true.
There are other Templars who are much less sympathetic.
You and Merrill's father are not married?
Vincento had no desire for a wife or an elf-blooded child. I haven't seen him since the day I told him. I have written, though, to keep him informed about his child. Merrill wanted to meet him.
It's a bit selfish just abandon, the woman who had your child. But, hey-ho, I'll go right now.
I will not leave you fearful for a moment longer than necessary.
Magic can be a fearful gift. Your son deserves the best aid learning how to manage it.
My husband Wesley was a Templar. They're not all fanatics to be feared.
Thank you. It has been a lonely time hiding. It's almost a relief to finally confront this openly.
Right, Wayward Son. Speak to Thrask in the Gal's Courtyard of Vincento in the Lowtown Market during the day about the boy, Merrill. We can do that. Let's go and check on Merrill first, yes? See if she has anything interesting to tell us. I mean, she's barely even been here, but yeah, we may as well go and speak to her. I like that party members that you don't use kind of have their own like place where they stay, as opposed to all being gathered into one kind of like house. I think it's quite good, that. Right, so let's check this. Mana is that which defines a mage. It's potential that dwells within a person but does not always manifest itself. All men are connected to the Fade. We go there to dream, but only those with this potential may draw upon its power. Mana is then a measurement of one's ability to draw power from the Fade, and it is this power that is expended in magic. As in all other things, it has limits. Just as a man has the strength to lift only so much weight and no more, mage cannot work more magic at one time than his mana allows. If he wishes to work magic that would be beyond his strength, a mage must bolster his mana with lyrium. Without lyrium, it is possible for the reckless to expend their own life force in the working of magic, and occasionally, ambitious apprentices injure or even kill themselves by overexertion. But lyrium is also not the most nicest of substances to be taking, so yeah. Right. You asked what happened to Alathan? Sadly, we do not know. Even those of us who keep the ancient law have no record of what truly happened. What we have are accounts of the days before the fall, and a fable of the whims of the gods. The human world was changing even as the elves slept. Clans and tribes gave way to a powerful empire called Tevinter, which, and for what reason we do not know, moved to conquer Elvenham. When they breached the great city of Alathan, our people, fearful of disease and loss of immorality, chose to flee rather than fight. With magic, demons, and even dragons at their behest, the Tevinter Emporium marched easily through Alathan, destroying homes and galleries and amphitheatres that had stood for ages. Our people were corralled as slaves, and human contact quickened their veins until every captured elf turned mortal. The elves called to their ancient gods, but there was no answer. As to why the gods didn't answer, our people left only a legend. They say that Fenharel, the Dread Wolf and Lord of Tricksters, approached the ancient gods of good and evil and proposed a truce. The gods of good would remove themselves to heaven, and the lords of evil would exile themselves to the abyss. Neither group ever again to enter the other's lands, but the gods did not know that Fenharel had planned to betray them. And by the time they realized the Dreadwolf's treachery, they were sealed in their respective realms, never again to interact with the mortal world. It is a fable, to be sure, but those elves who travel the beyond claim that Fenharel still roams the world of dreams, keeping watch over the gods lest they escape from their prisons. Whatever the case, Alathan had fallen to the very humans our people had once considered mere pests. It is said that the Tevinter managed to use their great destructive power to force the very ground to swallow Alathan whole, destroying eons of collective knowledge, culture, and art, the whole of elven lore left only to memory. Those lovely, lovely Tevinter people, eh? The Maker's first children. The Maker's first creations were the spirits, glorious beings that populated the many spires of the Golden City, and the Chant of Light says that they revered the Maker with unquestioning devotion. The Maker, however, was dissatisfied. Although the spirits were like him in that they could manipulate the ether and create from it, they did not do so. They had no urge to create, and even when instructed to do so, possessed no imagination to give their creations ingenuity or life. The Maker realized his own folly. He had created the spirits to resemble him in all but the one and most important way. They did not have a spark of the divine within them. He expelled all the spirits out of the Golden City and into the Fade and proceeded to his next creation, life. The Maker created the world and the living beings upon it, separated from the Fade by the veil. His new children would be unable to shape the world around them and thus would need to struggle to survive. In return for their struggle, the Maker gave them the spark of the divine, a soul, and he watched with pleasure as his creations flourished and showed all the ingenuity that he had hoped for. Ah. So essentially, like, he created, like, perfect people who had no reason to struggle for anything, and that wasn't good. So that's why the world was created, essentially. Okay. The spirits grew jealous of the living and coaxed them into the Fade when they slept. The spirits wished to know more of life, hoping to find a way to regain the Maker's favour. Through the eyes of the living, they experienced new concepts: love, fear, pain, and hope. The spirits reshaped the Fade to resemble the lives and concepts that they saw, each spirit desperately trying to bring the most dreamers to their own realm, so they could vicariously possess the spark of the divine through them. As the spirits grew in power, however, some of them became contemptuous of the living. These were the spirits that saw the darkest parts of the dream, as their lands were places of torment and horror, and they knew that the living were strongly drawn to the places that mirrored those dark parts themselves. These spirits questioned the Maker's wisdom and proclaimed the living inferior. They learned from the darkness they saw and became the first demons. Rage, hunger, sloth, desire, pride. These are the dark parts of the soul that give demons their power. The hooks that they used to claw their way into the world of the living. It was demons that whispered into the minds of men, convincing them to turn from the Maker and worship false gods. They seek to possess all life as their due, forging kingdoms of nightmare and the fade in the hopes of one day storming the walls of heaven itself. And the Maker despaired once again, for he had given the power of creation to his new children, and in return they had created sin. Nothing's ever simple, unfortunately. Alright, what's in here? Nothing? No, just Merrill's little storage cupboard, basically. Merrill!
I didn't think you'd come.
It's literally 5 minutes ago.
Relatively clean for you to sit on.
Relatively clean. Very relative.
Can I get you something to eat or drink? I have water.
Not even on a dare. Relax.
I came here to see you, Merrill. You don't have to fuss over me.
Oh, isn't that nice?
You're so kind. My first guest, and I'm already a terrible host. I wanted to thank you for bringing me here, but I'm making a mess of it.
Did you so there is a romance thing going on here. That you can attempt. Merrill does seem nice, but I'm interested in what the other like kind of companions will run into between now and the end of the game. We'll make a little advance.
You're so sweet, Merrill.
I'm not really. If good wishes were enough, everyone in Thedas would be happy. I haven't exactly had many friends. Not even among my own clan. This is tricky.
Why didn't you have friends?
What made you unpopular with the Dalish?
Being first to the Keeper, I was always a bit secluded. I studied magic and history while the others were learning the Via Tanadal. It's good that I left. I'd have made a terrible Keeper. I was never that good with people.
Oh. You're doing fine.
You seem to be getting the hang of it already.
I'm glad you think so. Thank you for coming to visit me, Hawk. It means a lot to me.
Anytime, Merrill. Welcome home. Speak to Merrill at her home in Lortan's alienage, yes. Bethany, please don't block me in. Speak to her anymore?
By the dread wolf! Why is my house always such a mess when people are here? It's clean sometimes, I swear.
That's something that I'd say. I swear it's fine sometimes. Just not now. Yeah. Totally. Right, so we need to polish off a few quests here, don't we? Let us go to the Chantry. Because I believe they have something that belongs to them. Or we have something that belongs to them. Ah, no, this is Sebastian, of course. I completely forgot. Did we? Oh, no, yeah, no, we did, but we already returned it. Yeah, I remember now.
Your family can rest now. Their killers are gone.
Excuse me, who are... My post to the Chanter's Board? Did Her Grace let that stay? I thought for sure no one even read, but you say you've killed them. You have my eternal gratitude, Sirrah. It is comforting to think my parents might now rest easily in their graves.
Oh, wait,
who are you exactly?
I am Sebastian Vale, Prince of Starkhaven. Her Grace might prefer I introduce myself as a brother in the Chantry, but I could not stay after what happened to my family.
Why didn't your family's enemies hunt you down as well?
That's why I took the offensive. Thanks to you, those Flint Company assassins are no longer a danger.
Makes sense.
I'm the last of my line. Unless I survive, my family will have no justice.
Who sent these mercenaries?
My family has ruled Starkhaven for 6 generations. We have enemies, but none who would identify themselves openly. A distant cousin of mine is claiming rulership now, but he is a bit simple. He can be
Simple.
no more than a pawn in this plot.
Who might have done it, yeah. Yeah.
Surely you have a guess as to who was behind it.
My parents were always prudent in how they handled our nobles. They did not allow rivalries or resentments to flourish. The attack must have come from outside. Kirkwall is our largest trading partner. I came back here to find support for my claim, and perhaps for a clue as to who is behind this foul deed.
Where's my money? Yeah, I'm glad I could help.
I hope their deaths bring you peace.
Thank you. More than I can say. I truly did not expect anyone but me to take up this cause. Consider this in advance. When I have secured my lands again, you will be paid royally. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must meet with the Viscount and petition him for aid to a fellow city.
We got the achievement, Retribution. 4 gold, complete the quest. So that was a DLC quest, I believe, which is interesting. It seemed quite small, if you get me. Like, obviously it had something to it, but yeah, you know, it wasn't like a particularly long quest, which is kind of surprising. You know, for a DLC. Does Althene have anything else to say now?
You are from over the sea, are you not? Have you come to pray for those you left behind? It was a near thing what happened in Ferelden, but in the end, the Maker stepped in.
I hear a lot about the Knight Commander here. What can you tell me?
Gossip is a sin, child.
Well,
Knight Commander Meredith has an admirable devotion to her duties.
To the exclusion of all else.
It is not my role to form opinions on her character.
Why are circle mages here kept in a Tevinter prison?
Ah, so soon you take an interest in our problems. The short answer is it was a building, a large one. Should it have sat empty? The Chantry found a use for what was once a horror. It is the nature of men to move on and forget the past. Even your blight will be a distant memory in our lifetimes.
may I have your blessing?
Can I get your benediction?
May the Maker bless and keep you. May his smile grace all the days of your life, and his light guide you to his side.
So let it be.
So let it be.
Oh, thank you. Revered Mother Althena assumed the mantle of Grand Cleric almost 20 years ago. She is responsible for the spiritual well-being of the southern free marches, everything south of Starkhaven and the Menanta River. She has long been a calming presence in the city, renowned for her kindness and generosity. People frequently turn to her to mediate disputes, particularly those involving the powerful Templar Order, over whom she holds authority as the Chantry's ranking representative. Some claim that Althena's advanced age has rendered her ineffective and that she allows Knight Commander Meredith more leeway with each passing year. Some are calling on the new Divine Justina V to appoint a replacement, but they do so quietly, for Althena is by far the most beloved priest the city has ever known. Well, when the time comes, you will need somebody else. But I can understand their reservations, I suppose. Was Althena there? Althena kind of been the person that we spoke to about Sebastian's problems. Or maybe she was, but she just didn't respond like that last time. I can't remember who we actually spoke to. Then again, my memory is awful. Like, it's genuinely shocking, my memory. Okay. Right, let's just leave. Oh, we need to level up our companions, obviously. Okay, so we will upgrade her constitution a little bit, and we'll give her mainly magic. Yeah, let's give her 2 magic, I think. What do we want to give her, though? Do we want to give her... See, that's quite good. There's the Glyph of Paralysis as well. Yeah, we'll give her that. It's quite good. We'll give her a little bit of a boost in dexterity and some strength, too. What's that? She does equip the warrior structures off the extra damage from critical hits. Immune to critical hits. That's really good. We'll take that. Okay. So we just need Varric to level up now, then everyone will be level 8. Yeah, let's go to Hightown quickly and return that seal. I'm sure it'll be somewhere around here. Okay, oh, we do have new quests that have popped up as well, since we did that quest in Sundermount. That's quite good. Let's have a converse. Chantilly or anything says us? No.
1,000 wrongs. The Maker yet notices the smallest of deeds.
Magistrate Vernard.
You there, Ferelden. I wish to speak with you.
What would you like,
quite
sir?
A reputation with the Red Iron Mercenary Band. I find myself in need of someone with your special talents.
What is it you need?
Is there something I can help with?
I am a magistrate in this city, and as such, I wish to hire you for a small, albeit important, job. A man I sentenced to a life in prison has escaped custody. He's been tracked to an abandoned ruin outside the city.
A request that should have been made of the guard.
Yes. This guy reminds me of Snape from Harry Potter. What's this man's crime?
Why is there such a clamor to catch this man? What has he done?
He's escaped. That's reason enough to catch him.
You could have been a bit more open with me there, but that's all.
Is there anything else I need to know?
There is something, yes. There are creatures in the ruins. The guards I sent are ill-equipped to deal with such
Creatures.
beasts.
What kind of creatures?
Do you know what manner of beasts they are?
I don't know what they look like. I've never seen one myself. The guards say these things have already torn through a full company of men.
Great.
It'd be easier to seal up the entrance and let the beasts take care of him.
I believe in justice, Ferelden, not unbridled slaughter. I will not let prisoners be eaten just because I don't want to get my hands dirty.
I agree with him there, to be fair.
I'm sure if you send in enough men this time, they'd do fine.
No. The more guards who know, the easier it is for this to get out. Those men gossip like old fishwives.
Alright, I'll do it.
I'll take the job.
Bring the fugitive in alive, quickly and quietly. Not only will you be well paid,
I can't guarantee
you'll have
either
the
of those
attitude
things.
of a city magistrate. Useful for a refugee, wouldn't you agree?
This just sounds like blackmail, to be honest. Go to the old ruin outside the city and apprehend the escaped criminal for Magistrate Vernard. Okay, we can do that. But for now, we will end this episode here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you in the next episode of Dragon Age 2. Thanks again, guys. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.